Hi Capricorn, and welcome to your September 2020 general reading. So, you got the ring as the Lenormand card. It's a very interesting card. The ring, it can be obviously about relationships. Its energy is around eternity. So it quite often shows up as binding contracts, eternity, but I've had a few clients and it's shown up, it's even shown up in people's dream times, okay? So they've had a dream, a very life-changing dream that's made them feel very, very whole and very complete. So a lost part has came back to them. So it's a very interesting card to show up. It tends to show there's some sort of wholeness happening. And again, this can be on the internal plane, the external plane. I mean, they're basically the same thing, but I'm just saying that I have noticed it a lot when it's an internal sort of union that's happened. It's very hard to explain. I'll find out more when I do your cards. So tell me more. It's a really, honestly, I'm sort of lost with that card because I pulled it a couple of weeks ago and it was such an interesting process to work through. Definitely about commitment, but more about internal commitment to my own authenticity, my own sort of life path. But let's see how it wants to show up for you. It might show up differently for everyone. Just gonna split the cards. You're only my second reading. The other person, the other signs was quite straightforward. So I'm sort of really hoping that's the case for you, Capricorn. So you've got the lovers behind you with the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords is about messengers. Yeah, tends to very, very show up as a lot of backwards and forwards communication, or even a little bit with someone else. I'm sort of laughing. It's not very often you get such a straightforward message. It can also be a card of Gemini. It can be about life choices, fork in the road, and then making a decision or waiting for some communication about being at a crossroads. Yeah, because that's what the Lovers meant. It used to be a fork in the road on the Fool's journey, and he's a little bit, oh, is this going right or is this going left? He makes the choice to follow his authenticity and he immediately becomes enlightened, which is very odd because that's what, I didn't immediately become enlightened, Capricorn, but that's what the ring meant to me when I had it, okay? For some of you, this is news, communication with someone. Now what you want is the Chariot, and my other sign that I've done wanted the Chariot too, forward motion. I can understand you, Capricorn. It's been one hell of an odd year and very, very little has been moving forward, and what you want is this forward motion in your life. The gift is the Star card. So this is Aquarius. It can be about clear communication, transparency, being open, vulnerable. It takes great vulnerability to love. Sorry. And love comes about when we open ourselves and risk. Yeah, take risks, Capricorn. Very terrifying to take risks. The challenge is a Three of Wands. Yeah. Can I just carry on? Yeah, Five of Cups in your relationships. That's very odd. It was the first vision I got with that Three of Wands. But even though there's obviously this energy around a relationship, that Three of Wands is not everyone's favourite card. Waiting for your ships to come in, waiting for some sort of forward motion. I'll find out more, don't worry. Money and work, you get the Ten of Wands, which is the ending of an oppressive cycle. The Ten of Wands isn't a bad card. It's something is ending, and what's ending is that. So it's a good card to show up because it means something new is beginning. It quite often shows up, I have to say, so I get it when I'm just completing something, so there's still a little bit more, but you're in the completion process. Capricorn, Nine of Swords at a soul level. Fear. And you get the Seven of Cups, and then you get the Judgment card. I think the Judgment card is to do with the Five of Cups, put it that way. Because the Judgment card is the opposite side of the Scorpio card. So you know, like the Phoenix rising from the dead, that's a Judgment card. And the fact the Five of Cups is showing up in your relationship is Mars and Scorpio. So it's a card of, it's a very interesting reading. It's some sort of communication. The Gift is a Star card, which is about transparency. But then you go into this Five of Cups. So why, or why? It's almost like there's a disappearance again. There's a rising, then a disappearance again. Tell me why the Five of Cups is appearing. One card. Yeah. Seven of Pentacles. So the Seven of Pentacles is a pause card. End of. All the sevens are to a certain extent, and it's almost like there's for some Capricorns there's some communication with someone here, but then there's a disappearance. That's why the Three of Wands is a challenge, and these cards are showing up because it's almost like temptation, openness, and then disappearance again. Take a deep breath, guys, okay? It really sort of, take a deep breath. Because remember, there's no such thing as wasted time. Waiting time doesn't have to be wasted time. It depends how we use it. But these are three cards that are all sort of, they're almost stop cards, you know? Things move forward. The Lovers and the Page of Swords. The Chariot is what you want. It moves forward, then it goes to nothing. And some of you might not really like me, but my job is not to be liked, guys, but to read the cards. So I'll try and find out a little bit more. Give me a minute though. So tell me what's going on in the Ten of Wands in the finances, because this is an ending and then going to the Page. You've got two aces basically, because the Page of Pentacles is the ace. So he's got the ace in his hand, but it's beginning to take definition. So this could be about a new job, learning a new skill, cultivating something new. I love it. It tends to show up. So really what you really want is a 10 with an ace. Yeah? Because it's a conclusion leading to a new beginning, because life moves in these life's always moving in patterns. Not many of us like it when we're in the ending cycle, but most of us love new beginnings. So you've got this new energy. Can be about a new project, some sort of pentacle in your hand, that if you put it in the ground, it will start to become something more over time, okay? With that Ten of Wands, it looks like, there's an awful lot of exhaustion here, guys, okay? But you want the cards to be combined like that. The newness of the green, which is prosperity and potential, with leaving behind a difficult pattern. But I think in September, the Ten of Wands will be the most primal card because it came up first, and then this beautiful new beginning energy. The pages are always about potential, and that given the right conditions, this ace grows into a king, into a queen. Yeah. So that is showing up, although you've got a sort of mixed bag. And maybe for some of you, you've got 1 foot in one and 1 foot in the other. So building something new, while at the same time having to hold down a job, that might be it, that sort of thing. 9 of Swords at a soul level, you've got anxiety here. Okay, so the anxiety might be down to the exhaustion. Yeah, very, very linked. So when we're tired, we're much more open to fear, to anxiety, to worry, which further depletes our systems. So we end up sort of energetically bankrupt, Capricorn. So we need to get you... How does Capricorn cope with this 9 of Swords? Yeah, with the Ace of Swords. This is about truth. It's about clarity. And I don't know if the anxiety is to do with the fact of this energy in a relationship and projecting into the future about, and what you're projecting doesn't seem to be a very happy story. Okay, I'll find out more. Anyhow, the outcome is the 7 of Cups. You get another 7, a little bit confusion, and then here comes the rebirth. Okay, so something that you thought was gone, coming back from the dead. That's what the Judgment card is. There's 3 people in a coffin, and they're rising out of these coffins and giving thanks that they've got a second chance at life. This might be to do with this page and the ace in your finances. Or it might be to do with a relationship. So tell me why the Judgment card is showing up. What's it about, please? One card. Yeah, I think it might be more... See, the 5 of Pentacles. And 5 of Pentacles is traditionally a financial card. So maybe there's been worry here. But listen, this Page of Pentacles is what heals the issues of the 5 of Pentacles. So it's, oh gosh, there's a potential new start here that can solve this issue. But the 5 of Pentacles also heals this energy of waiting, okay? Because someone steps in to heal the divide between you and them. Someone's protecting the heart here, see? And because the Star card is the gift is about grace. It's about allowing yourself to wear your heart on your sleeve. No one likes wearing their heart on their sleeves, Capricorn. Anyone does. But that's what the gift of grace is about. And even if it doesn't go down that well to begin with, it might as the month ends. Okay? Relationships have been such a struggle over COVID for everyone. Okay? A lot of people have gone into very, 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 very difficult personal places. A lot of people, by the way. And none of us really know why people go into these very difficult places, but they do. And it won't be the last time that that's how people deal with trauma and difficulties. There's some potential to heal some relationship connection. I don't think it's going to be to the end of the month. Yeah? Now, and there's also finances, because when these cards show up as a combination, and I always love it, especially this page. I've got a real soft spot for this page because what needs to happen in this Five of Pentacles is this page and this ace needs to go in here. So it's about financial fear, financial worry, and this is about some sort of opportunity or offer that's obviously, hopefully going to begin to help that, to bridge this gap. And that's probably what the Judgment card is saying regarding finances. You thought it was lost, and actually this is life coming back. It's been, it's just a notoriously difficult time for everyone. And what I don't love seeing, I'm going to be really, really honest here, is the Nine of Swords. Okay? Now, the Nine of Swords is anxiety. Now, what I say to people when the Nine of Swords show up is, whatever you're thinking, would you like it to be your future? And I know the answer's no. So if the answer's no, then really, really, really what has to happen is to get control of your anxiety. Now, we don't think anxious, we feel anxious. So sometimes the deep breathing, going for a walk, going for a run, moving your body is what dispels anxiety, because it's like a system overload. And it's all in your mind because I haven't got the answer for that. But one of the ways out the Nine of Swords is breathing, but also walking, running, yoga, anything to begin to disperse the energy, because we cannot think clearly when we're in the Nine of Swords. We're in fight or flight. We lose our creativity. We lose our perspective. We lose the potential to see solutions. Now, I think probably most of us are somewhere in the Nine of Swords, guys, okay? I keep pulling it. You're not the only one. But doing practices to begin to disperse the energy, I think might be quite essential, because having the Star card as the gift is one hell of a gift, Capricorn, because the Star card is grace, okay? Grace is the highest force in the universe. When we get stuck, it's always grace that I turn to. And it's just a simple prayer to grace for resolution. Grace to enter in to whatever this situation's about, to bring this gorgeous little ace and this little page into that situation, so new life can begin to come forward, because you deserve that so much. And bring grace into this Five of Cups and that Three of Wands. So when we bring grace in to a relationship issue, it's almost like saying, I can't do anymore. But you can, grace. And grace is the living power of this universe. So we invite it in and say, oh, whatever this relationship is about, I'm fed up with being in this Five of Cups energy. I'm fed up with waiting. And then we get out of our own way and we allow this universal power of grace. You know what, I'm going to tell you a very quick story, but if people have been ill, it's the Star card that I always hope is going to show up in a reading. Because what it means is there'll be a full resolution. I can guarantee you, Capricorn, that's what it means, okay? Because it's grace that decides. And because grace is the gift, and it's almost calling in grace to these situations and asking for as much resolve as possible. But grace cannot get into this Nine of Swords, and your job has to be to begin to dispel this energy, because you're living in fight or flight or freeze. and it's absolutely depleting way to live. I'm going to ask for an advice card for you. One more advice card, please. One card to give them advice to navigate this energy. It's funny, you get the Ten of Cups. Connection, joy, sharing the energy that you do have with other people. The Ten of Cups, because Ten of Cups is my cup runs over, and when our cup runs over is when we can move out to community to share with other people. I really feel this need to get you out the Nine of Swords, and sometimes it's that shock moment when I say to you, whatever you're projecting is what's creating your future, and if it's not what you want, I want you to take a step back to find other ways to cope with this anxiety. The Judgment card is a beautiful outcome because it's sort of talking about things that you once thought were lost, now on their way back. Yeah, then you get the Rider. So the Rider is going forward to brand new, all the ones, all the aces, a little bit like the Magician. Sometimes before great change comes a period of great chaos. Actually, probably all the time. It's like that butterfly. It's eaten in its own juices before it's reborn into this energy of Judgment card, of the Rider, of this energy of propelling your life forward, which is what the Rider's about. It's almost a message, Capricorn, maybe to listen to this a few times, but that September might be a month where you're heading towards a brand new initiation. And initiations is a brand new chapter. But it might be a little bit of a journey where you're meeting a few past ghosts. There's some energy, not everything's landing in your lap right away. It's a very, 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 very testing time. And it's almost like all the skills we've ever learned has been tested. And it's okay to fail, and it's okay to get back up, and it's okay to worry. It's okay to worry as long as you don't live there. It's about being kind. And now, Capricorn, I've got a new website. I've been doing my ace in my page. The link's underneath. Gives you a clear example of the work I do. I will hopefully do mid-months, by the way, which maybe will give some sort of, but you're going somewhere, and sometimes experience what you're experiencing, but don't forget the destination. And that something that you once thought is hopeless might potentially be in your hands again by the end of September. Much love, guys. Bye.